This is where we're gonna build the camp right here. It's gonna sit right here, and the front of the camp will kind of be right about here. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and if you're new here, welcome to my cabin up in the Maine woods. If you've been following along, the last few years we've been building this cabin behind me, between me, my dad, father-in-law, friends, other relatives. We've built it pretty much by ourselves, and I filmed the good majority of it. I filmed a lot of the more interesting stuff. There's a whole playlist on it. I expected the videos to kind of do a little bit better than they did, so I kind of backed off of them a little bit, but you guys seem to want to see a cabin tour video now that it's completely done. So that's what we're gonna do here today. See all these videos about off-grid cabin build, blah, blah, blah. This is not off-grid. We have power, we have water, so it's on-grid. But if you guys saw the drone footage before this, there's miles and miles of wilderness behind us. We are out in the woods. So anyway, let's hop inside and I'll show you guys what the cabin looks like. Before we get too crazy, we'll just start with the outside real quick. This is not at all what I envisioned this place to look like when we were building it. I wanted it to look more like a cabin. We were gonna do cedar shake shingles that were vinyl just to make it, you know, relatively maintenance free on the outside. Way too expensive. So I went with this cheaper green vinyl siding. I think it looks all right. And now I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, this is not a cabin, this is a house. This is like way too nice of a place. And I agree, we built this place like a house. You know, I wasn't gonna build a cabin that I could only use during the summer. So we put a foundation under it, we insulated it, we got heat, we got water, we drilled a well. We're like set up for all 4 seasons to be using this for ice fishing, snowmobiling, summer months out on the lake. Like, we built a screen porch on this thing. So I understand that this may look like a a house. I can assure you that a lot of the stuff that we did in this cabin build, we did on a budget. There's a couple things we didn't skimp out on. That was the roof and the foundation. The rest of the stuff, a lot of it, we used cheaper materials and just made it look nice. So I'll kind of talk you guys through that. We saved a lot of money doing that, and we also saved a lot of money doing the labor ourselves. If we had to pay someone to build this place, it would have cost, I mean, 3 times as much as just doing it ourselves. So the only thing that we did hire out was the roof and the foundation work, and I even helped with the foundation, some of it, but most everything else we did ourselves. So starting off here, this cabin is 32 feet long by 24 feet wide. And we have a 4-foot crawl space underneath. This is the kind of the back side here. And then on the front, we built a 10-foot by 24-foot wide screen porch, which is awesome. So I guess we'll go right out on the porch and we'll start right off right there, because that's where you first come in the cabin. I've also had a lot of comments on this grate right here from people that have visited saying, man, that's the best idea. The water and snow runs right off this roof and goes right through this grate, so it doesn't pile up here and make it super slippery on the steps. I got this online somewhere. I can try to link it. All right, here we go. And the screen door, she's got a slam, dude. That thing is a necessity at a camp. You gotta have an old spring on here. You gotta have it nice and creaky, and then she's got a slam when it closes. So if you guys want to see a lot of these different steps, like we built the porch, made a video on it. We built like the kitchen, did a video on it. So if you guys want to see real specific stuff on each part of the cabin, they're all in the cabin build series. Go check them out. But this is our porch here. Finally finished it, and it looks pretty sweet. So like I said, on the budget side of things, I did have to buy this door. All the windows I got in here were recycled windows. There are old windows that I refinished and did them all. So most of the windows I didn't really pay for. I had to buy this and another one for the bedroom to match. My buddy Shane and I milled this pine from an old tree that got hit by lightning. We milled it up, and I stained it with my dad, and we put it on here. Did a reverse board and batten. We did metal roofing on the ceiling, and it's pretty sweet. The floor, we did one piece of vinyl flooring, so if any weather does get in here, which it really doesn't, I mean, a little bit of snow in the winter sprinkles in, but it's like a membrane over this entire floor. So this is what the porch looks like, and we just built these screens, just wrap screen around it, pinched them in with the wood. One cool thing, I did find this horseshoe as we were building the place down here out front. When we cut down a big tree, there was a horseshoe under it, really old horseshoe. So we hung that up over the door for good luck. And if you guys know where this is, if you know, you know. All right, let's move on to the inside and show you what you guys probably want to see. All right, so we are in the Pine Palace now. I'm showing you guys this on the GoPro because I think the big camera is just too like zoomed in for everything, but so you can get the full picture here. But everything in here is pine, pretty much. So we bought cabin grade tongue and groove pine. My dad finished it all in his garage pretty much, and then we just put it on the wall. But so it was a lower grade pine. Granted, it was still not cheap, but it was a cabin grade pine. So some of it, you know, you see there's knots and holes and stuff in some of it. These beams we had milled right down the road. They were cut, and we had a guy mill them for us down the road, 24 feet long, and they actually go the whole back end of the cabin here across the back. And we have 2-inch tongue and groove flooring up in the loft that sit on top of those that we got from NC Hunt. Pretty good deal on that stuff. But anyway, this GoPro makes it look way bigger than it is. It's not really all that big. These windows up here were something that I really wanted. As a kid, we had a camp actually not too far from here that had triangular windows in them, and I just really loved the look of that. So my dad and I actually built these window frames. I had the glass made from a local glass shop, and they just put 2 panes of glass together. And we built the frames out of wood, glued them in there, and put metal trim around the outside. It was far less expensive to do that. I mean, those windows would have been thousands and thousands of dollars had we bought them like that, and they were only a few $100. So that's just an example of one thing that we did that was, you know, we saved some money on. Over here we got a little coat rack. I built that in the video with a chainsaw. Bench, just some decorations and stuff. Go to fish mount. The kitchen was definitely on a budget. If you guys have ever built or redone a kitchen, you guys know how much kitchens cost. It's ridiculous. And you know, this looks like a pretty nice kitchen. And don't get me wrong, it is. But the cabinets are about as cheap as you can get. They're just cheap. Home Depot. They were the unfinished cabinets. They're not very nice. They've got like junky drawers in them, and they're just not very good. But the fronts are hardwood. So I bought them. I did a video on this. I bought the cabinets. I painted them, primed them, painted them this color. They come like a natural color. And I just made it all fit the way that we wanted, so we could have a nice island here, because we don't have a table in here. So this is where we sit at the bar to eat and stuff. And this countertop, again, one of the cheaper countertops that you can get, other than maybe making one out of plywood. It's just a Formica countertop. Looks kind of like real granite, but it's not. It's just plywood underneath with a laminate over it. And we plop that in. We've got the basic, cheapest black GE appliances that I could find. And we do have a gas range, which is one thing I really wanted. I hate the electric ones, cooking on those. The gas is so much nicer, especially up here at camp. We can use it if the power goes out, which it does go out quite often up here. And yeah, so you can see how the kitchen turned out. A nice big stainless sink, because we don't have a dishwasher. Doing dishes in there and stuff. Came out really nice. The floors that we did are just a vinyl sort of click together flooring. We got this stuff from a discount surplus salvage store called Martin's up here in Maine. If you guys are from Maine, you know all about that. So we got that at a better deal. Also got the couches from there too. You guys may remember the stove that was here. This is not the same stove that was here last year. I actually just put this in. I had a Hearthstone Bristol stove in here that I love the look of. I loved a lot of things about it. But the one thing I wish I had done was got the next size up. That stove did heat this place really well. Once it got up to temperature, it just took a while. And I didn't like the thermostat on it. It had a remote and it was hard to use. No one could figure out how to set it. And just the way that, it wasn't even the stove manufacturer's fault. It was the ignition system that was made by a different company. Just not user-friendly whatsoever. And I wanted something easy to use. Just a basic wall thermostat that we can set it and forget it. So I had this stove at my house. It's a bigger stove now. This is a Lopi Greenfield, way bigger of a stove, way more heat output, and it heats this place very, very well. And all I did for this was run a thermostat over on this wall. So I can just set it at 70 or 65 or whatever. And when it gets low enough, the thing kicks on. Easy, simple, no batteries, no nothing. The one I had here before was smaller, like I said, so it did take a while to heat up. But once it got heated up, it heated the place perfect. It was just hard to regulate it with the way that the remote was. The remote was the thermostat. And so I took this one from my house. We switched the one that was here, brought it to my house. And I actually never really used this when it was at my house. I mean, the thing's practically brand new. And now that we've switched them, I use the smaller one at my house all the time. I don't know why. It's easier to use at my house, but up here, this one's easier to use, so it worked out perfectly. I built this stone backdrop here. You know, built all this stuff, have a video on it, and I think it looks pretty good. It's very like cabiny looking, and it's really kind of like one of the centerpieces of the interior of the cabin here. I'm gonna show you guys the loft. Now, we built this railing here, and I don't know if I really even showed this in the video, but We built this from, I got cedar 2x4s, 4x4s, and that's what we built the railing out of. And just bought some top caps for them. And the stairs are just run-of-the-mill, basic, cheap southern yellow pine stair treads, and then just white pine risers. And on the back, all I did was I bought these on Amazon and screwed them right to the back. It doesn't look as good from the back, but from the front, looks pretty sweet. Came out pretty good. So we'll go up to the loft here. This is one thing that we really wanted to have for extra guests, and our daughter actually sleeps up here, but it's a nice little loft. We've got 2 beds. We could actually fit another one here if we wanted to. But if the guys come up and want to do some ice fishing, we've got enough room, and it's actually pretty nice up here. I like hanging out up here sometimes. I tried to make this place as low maintenance as possible, just with some of the amenities and just how we built it. So like the metal roof, we don't have to shovel the roof. The siding, we don't have to paint the siding. It'll last a long time. The plan is with this property is we're going to use it for years as a family camp. And down the road, we're probably going to end up renting it. Either people that are just in the area, want to recreate and hang out at the lake. We do have a lake right out front here. Forgot to mention that, but we have access to snowmobile trail right out this back window. You can see the snowmobile trail, ATV trails, or people that I'm guiding. I'm a fishing guide, and the river that I guide on is 5 minutes down the road. So that my clients could stay here. We could guide them the next day. It's a pretty fun spot. So lots to do up in this area, kind of in central westernish Maine. But anyways, here's the loft. We'll go back through the kitchen here, show you guys there's not much more to see, but we got the master bedroom here. This is what this looks like. Just big enough for a queen. Get in around both sides and make the bed. A little closet in here, some storage. Actually, it's a pretty big closet because this is one of our only closets that we have in the place. And then the bathroom here, which is subject to change at some point probably. We just tossed this little linen type closet thing in here to put towels and extra stuff in because we don't have any storage really. And we do have a washer dryer hookup, which we may put in at some point, especially if we rent it. We probably want to have that, but we just plumbed it up for now, and we don't need it right at this moment. Did a video on this vanity that I made. Got this slab from my buddy. I finished it, made all this out of rough sawn pine, and I didn't know what I was doing, but it came out pretty good for a little vanity here. Just got a basic 36-inch shower. Pop that in there. Got the toilet. Little message to all the users. But that's it, really. I mean, you come out and you're in the main living space. It's kind of all one big room. It's really nice. Got nice big cathedral ceilings up here. I will show you guys the crawl space just in case you want to see it. It's an absolute disaster down here because I still haven't picked it up, but there's a little hatch that opens and closes, so in the winter we can close this. But we get down here and there's just tools and mess everywhere. And all our utilities, like our pressure tank, the water heater, is all down here. So there's actually quite a bit of room down here. I almost kind of wish we would have gone with a full basement. It was just super expensive even doing this, and just doubling the height of this would have made it ridiculous. But this is super nice to keep everything down here from freezing in the winter because we're going to leave it kind of on. It's a good place to have a bunch of storage and to keep all the utilities down here, and so they won't freeze. So this place heats really well, especially that little stove. This is the only heat source that we have in the whole place. I can stand right here and feel the heat coming off from that. We insulated it completely with Timber HP insulation. I worked with them on a project where we made a few videos for them, and we insulated the entire cabin with that stuff. And so far, the stuff has worked really well. I mean, this place is packed full of that stuff. It's really tight. and it holds the heat in here so well. And even in the summer, it holds the coolness in here for quite a while before it gets warmed up. I've heard some mixed reviews on it. People, you know, not liking to work with it. Some people love it. I had no problems with it. I actually really liked using it, way better than fiberglass. And it was really dusty to work with, but I mean, anytime you're doing insulation, it sucks. So, I mean, that camera maybe makes it not look so big, but it's plenty big enough. You could definitely have a few people up here spending the night, you know, going fishing or snowmobiling, you know, hanging out in the winter in here. We got plenty of room in the living room. All right, guys, so that wraps up the cabin tour. Short little video here of just kind of showing what everything, the final product looked like, because the videos kind of skipped around and I didn't film every little detail. I can't do that. I'm not gonna sit there and let the GoPro run for hours and just dump the footage on you guys. So I mostly filmed a lot of stuff for myself so I can look back on it, and you know, my daughter can have that to kind of look back on and, you know, see how we built this place and just see what was involved with it. And it's just kind of cool footage to have. So that's why I posted it. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do, because we're gonna be up here ice fishing. We're gonna be hitting the river, trolling in the spring and stuff, and there'll be a lot of videos from up here in the future, hopefully. So make sure you guys stick around. If you have any questions on things that I might have missed, leave them down in the comments below and I'll get to them. Until then, we'll catch you guys in the next video.